So turn off your television sets. Turn them off now. Turn them off right now. Turn them off and leave them off. Turn them off right in the middle of the sentence I'm speaking to you now. Turn them off.
I just want to say I'm offended right now.
I know you are. Go ahead.
Like I am utterly offended because the punny Star Wars name at the bottom corner of our stuff is what I do. It's what I've been doing for all 8 weeks that we've been doing. Well, the 6 of the 8 weeks that I've been here. I come in here with a punny name, and D and Ron got to go stealing my thunder.
See, mine isn't a pun.
I don't even need to be here. I don't even need to
explain mine. Mine isn't a pun. Mine is from one of my favorite tweets of late. Every time a new Star Wars movie or show is announced, all the fans are like, "OMG, Glup Shitto is back." That's one of my favorite recent tweets. So that's where the name comes from.
Still, you always have Ron. D always has D. I'm the person that comes in here with the punny name, and here y'all go stealing my thunder.
It's the finale. Yeah, it's the finale. We had to do something different for the finale.
No, y'all don't. Y'all could have just did the same thing y'all been doing.
I just wore a Star Wars Christmas sweater. That's all I did for the finale.
Mm-hmm.
Grogu Gadget Flow is instantly top 3, though. Like, it's instantly top 3. Mm-hmm. Like, come on, you can't even front, AJ.
No, I'm fronting. I'm fronting. I'm 1,000% fronting about this.
Okay. Mom, the kids are fighting.
I am upset about this. Like, I should have came in here with a black glove and my hood pulled all the way over for the majority of the episode until the last 5 minutes.
For the last 5 minutes. You can come in and save the day.
Well, yeah, as you can tell,
you should be flattered.
We have the full crew here. Courtney goes up.
AJ would be the one to come in and kill all the younglings. Wouldn't he?
I wouldn't kill the younglings. I wouldn't even kill everyone who stole my idea. I would probably just angrily wave a lightsaber in their face.
I would ask you how you're doing, AJ, but we already know. So moving on to D. D, how's it going?
It's great.
She's smiling because she's my mom's favorite of the week. Mom, I'm everybody.
Yeah.
Number one, baby.
I'm coming for the number one spot.
Two was not a winner.
All of my thunder has been stolen. I done lost favorite status, and y'all stealing my punniness. I don't even know why I'm here.
This is
my favorite in my business.
I could just be enjoying my Sunday.
You are here for your insights, which we'll get to later in the episode, because there's a lot to talk about in this episode. So we need your insights. So
and then what really drives it home is not only did she steal it, she gonna steal it and flip it into a Lupe pun, as if both of those are not my things.
Well,
you do not have a monopoly on Lupe. You know,
you're right. I don't have a monopoly on Lupe, but I'm usually the person who brings that here.
We share. You should be happy that you are a positive influence.
It's like both of ours. We'll just keep it at my house, though. Yeah.
I've been bamboozled,
led astray.
Tomorrow, the fight's gonna be more intense tomorrow, and I'm just gonna be sitting and watching even more helplessly.
Why would the fights be more intense tomorrow?
Because tomorrow's the 21st.
Oh
yeah. Like I don't know y'all. Starting 11:59. Like I don't know anybody.
I mean, and here's my thing.
I'm getting blocked on the group chat.
Does it start at each time zone? Am I gonna get
all the Caucasians to the back of the room
before y'all? Is that how this is gonna work? At 12?
But see, if you turn your VPN on for the East Coast time zone, then you'll get it early, likely. So just make sure you have your VPN on.
Listen, I'm just letting y'all know if I'm able to use the Force, y'all will never see me again.
Oh, you never.
Ryan said he's just gonna waterbend.
Yeah, I'm definitely not using my powers for completely good purposes.
I'm gonna use mine.
So I guess we should finally get into the episode. So D, I will task you with recapping the previous episode.
Really? Me?
Yes.
Yeah.
You.
Since you want to take everything else this week, take the recap.
What happened last week? On last week's episode,
Oh my God.
they stole Grogu.
So to cover up for D just totally let me down.
Oh God, my mom just asked me what the 21st was. Mom, don't worry about it.
You are no longer in charge of the
Don't
Catalina
worry.
wine mixer. You are no longer in charge. So Grogu has been stolen. So in order to retrieve Grogu, Mando needs to enlist the help of Mayfield. If you don't remember, Mayfield is Bill Burr's character. So what planet do they go to again? I forgot the planet name. So many
I don't
planets.
remember the planet names ever.
It's irrelevant. But anyway.
It wasn't
That's
Tatooine
really
or Coruscant.
it wasn't
I don't know.
Tatooine, but yeah, it's pretty much a throwaway episode, except we get two things. First, we start to see Mando basically challenge his creed, and second, just so happens Mayfield gets us the codes that could break into Moff Gideon's ship, and we can retrieve Grogu. And now we're here. So the whole gang is back together. We have. And by the way, I really love Cara Dune. I'm gonna be so sad when she gets replaced by Queen Latifah next season. But I really like Cara Dune. So it sucks that But anyway, so we have Cara Dune. We have
she's a cop, so
she's a cop.
She fits the character.
Yeah, we have I think her name is Fennec Shan, Ming-Na Wen's character. We have Boba Fett, and we have. Am I missing somebody? No, I think that's everybody. Oh yeah, we also meet up with Bo-Katan again.
Yeah, we have Bo-Katan here.
Yeah, both.
Yeah. So we're going
And
to
Sasha Banks.
break out and Sasha Banks.
What is Sasha Banks' character's name? Do we even know?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
I'm just glad she's there.
I'm just
Sasha
glad
Banks.
she's here along for the rock.
Her
So,
character
yeah.
name is Sacha Bay.
Exactly. So yeah, we're going to break
The
out.
only Bay DeLorean.
We're going to break out Grogu. But before we get into this episode, I would like to tell our audience a little story. Friday, I'm dealing with a lot of irate people at my job. On my lunch break, I'm like, you know what? Let me pull out my phone, take a quick little look at Twitter. The first tweet I see reveals the very first. And by the way, it was a funny tweet. But I was like, well,
We spoiled it, and we had just had a conversation. We're like, yeah, I don't know why people are breaking the rule right now and like spoiling it. And then I see Ron saying Michael spoiled it. I'm like, my Michael.
yes, you're Michael.
Well, two things here. Number one, the lesson here is watch the finale of TV shows instead of going to work. Secondly, stay off the internet if you want to avoid spoilers. Not to you, because you were just checking.
I know.
But for people in general who complain about that sort of thing, the only person that you can control is you.
I think my thing is like people tweeting it at 6 a.m.
I mean, but
6 hours after.
But that's what people do. Like people have had this thing for like the last decade on the internet where they feel like you telling them to not spoil it is telling them what to do. And on the internet, when you tell people what to do, there's a rogue gang of people who are going to do the complete opposite. So yes, people are going to spoil it. They've been doing this about Power ever since it started coming on at midnight. I don't know why people are still watching Power. But
I don't know why people watch Power. So.
But like Power would premiere at midnight, and you have people, why are you spoiling Power? And I'm just like, yo, just get off the fucking internet. Like, put your phone down. Are you that addicted to the timeline that you can't put your phone down for a few minutes so you can watch the show? I mean, I'm just a big fan of controlling what you can control, and the only thing that you can truly control in this world. Like, you ain't gonna fight nobody for revealing a spoiler. You can't go find these people. Ain't nothing gonna happen to them unless you're a world-class hacker. Well, I mean, yeah.
Well, see, you just don't care about spoilers, though, AJ. So it's different.
Well, no, I'm saying.
I think it's different if it's a live premiere, like at the Game of Thrones. Like, I think it's different because, like, you know what times to avoid the time.
Yeah.
But like this, it's like 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. tweeting.
I mean, but what I'm saying is this: like, yeah, I don't care about spoilers, but I don't tweet spoilers either. So my thing is, if you want to avoid, the only thing that you can control is yourself. Like, unless you are a world-class hacker and can ruin these people's lives, odds are you ain't gonna fight them. You'll probably never see them. So you just gonna tweet angrily and stress yourself out. You can just put the phone down and go do something else so you can watch the show. This is just advice from AJ if you want to avoid spoilers, because assholes are online and they are willing to spoil anything for you. They will seek out your tweets if you're tweeting about something to tweet you a spoiler. There are people that do that. Like, it's an insane. The internet is the wild, wild west. Whatever rules and decorum you think should exist, they don't. And there's no Mandalorian or Timothy Oliphants to steal Mandalorian armor and round them up. Like, it don't happen.
So needless to say, Courtney, whenever I finally meet Michael, it's on site. No, I'm joking. I'm joking, but seriously, like,
I told him I just was like,
call off work next time, Ron.
No, I wasn't tripping because, like I said, like a few episodes back, we were talking about like the possibility of this. It was like, could this happen? And a lot of us was like, I don't know. But then I was like, Disney, never underestimate Disney check. And I was like, it might be a long shot, but we could see it again. So I was kind of expecting it.
Not even never underestimate a Disney check. Never underestimate the ability of not having to be on set to get a Disney check. But you'll understand what we mean later on.
You understand what we're doing when we get there. So, AJ, I feel like you should get into the Moff Gideon stuff because you and Courtney are the Clone Wars experts, and
if anyone here has been chomping at the bit to get into Moff Gideon, is Courtney. So I don't even know why you would ask me this.
But she's been chomping at the bit, all right. But basically, we're gonna cut out all the speed parts of this episode and get straight into it. The scene when Mando fights Moff Gideon, why is that so significant? Like when Bo-Katan says, like, "Hey, bring Moff Gideon straight to me." Why would she say that?
I know, if there was a Clone War, there was a moment in the Clone. I'm like, that's what I was trying to think about. I was like, Sabine gave. Are we gonna get into it? Because Sabine straight up gave her the dark saber. So
yeah, I'm gonna watch that episode.
I was confused. I was like, but Sabine straight up.
As far as so basically,
Sabine literally was like,
because Bo-Katan lost the lightsaber to Moff Gideon at some point. It had to be won back because it was given to her the first time by Sabine, if I'm not mistaken, in Rebels. I was hoping I meant to watch that episode of Rebels, but I forgot, and I try to avoid Ezra at all costs because Ezra is like Aang to me. But so basically, Bo-Katan saying throughout the entire episode, "Bring Gideon to me. He must surrender to me." All of that stuff, and because
she didn't care about the child, she's like, "Fuck them kids"
at all.
I'm just here for
she challenged her inner Anakin. She was willing to sacrifice children for power. But yeah, so Gideon ends up being defeated, of course, and he begins taunting Bo-Katan trying to instigate a beef between Bo-Katan and Mando because now Mando is basically has the right to rule all Mandalorians because he claimed the Darksaber in combat. And when he repeatedly attempts to yield to Bo-Katan to give her the saber back, she's like, no, it can't happen that way. And it hasn't really been explained yet, but my guess is because it was given to her the first time and she lost it in combat, it now has to be won again in combat.
I'm thinking that's what I'm guessing. He called her a pretender, and I'm thinking it's like the people are like, well, she has to keep having to give her this saber, so she's a pretender. So I kind of felt that too, but also I'm wondering if it's because of who Mando is. Like it may be like, imagine it's like someone like Jon Snow getting. I was just about to say it gave me Jon Snow. Right?
Jon Snow energy.
He's like a foundling from the Death Watch, so I'm sure like in her mind like that's like even worse in her eyes. I feel.
I mean, it gave big Jon Snow. I was gonna say that, and I guess you were reading my mind because it was almost just like Jon because he was just like, I don't want it here. No, seriously, I don't.
But like, I think in her eyes, like, she was almost like, I can't believe this person doesn't want to get the saber, but not me.
But see, this leads to a very important lesson. Like when,
and he was just like carrying it so casually too.
Like when you send a man to the grocery store, don't say, "Hey, go to the grocery store and give me lemons." Tell him specifically what you want him to do. So she should have said, like, "Hey, make sure you don't."
Yeah, no, Ron. Go to the grocery store yourself, because it's still going to be wrong somehow, some way.
I mean,
she said 12 lemons.
Yeah, say 12 lemons. Don't say give me some lemons. I'm going to bring you back 2 or 3.
She said 12.
Mm-hmm.
She did not say 12.
She said 12. We just heard some.
She said 12 specifically. But go ahead. I'm sorry. We don't need to go down that road. We had to have a whole episode based off that movie. But okay, so I'm with you. Did you guys know that Moth was gonna attack him?
Yeah.
Of course.
You see it coming?
No,
Okay.
and that's like people like, oh, maybe he had some light in him. I'm like, listen, that was only Anakin. Anakin was the only one. That was because like no.
Okay, so according to what I'm reading from Screen Rant, the theory is that she must win it in combat because she never won it in combat to begin with, and it was what basically probably happened was her claim was disputed from the get-go. So if you don't know, Bo-Katan is the sister of Duchess Satine, who was once a former girlfriend of Obi-Wan, she was once the ruler of Mandalore. So because she was given the and Gideon says this, it's not just holding the saber, it's the story of how you got it. So the story of how she gets it the first time is this Mandalorian girl who's a descendant of Clan Vizsla finds the sword among Darth Maul's possessions on Dathomir and gifts it to Bo-Katan. So the story is not that she won it or nobody won it. It was discovered and handed to somebody. So now it would be this child of the Death Watch goes in, defeats Moff Gideon after she loses the sword and then hands her the sword right back.
Not only a child, but a foundling. So it's like even worse.
She would never be able to truly rule Mandalore because she had to be given the sword twice by members of the Death Watch, basically. Like Mando is a child of the Death Watch and Clan Vizsla started the Death Watch. So it basically she lost it and never won it, and it had to be given to her twice. So basically the theory is that she couldn't truly rule Mandalore because she's constantly having to been gifted the right to rule as opposed to just winning it. And Mandalorians only respect strength.
Yeah, that falls in line with what I was thinking. Yeah, so like you said, it was pretty much gifted to her, and since it was taken from her, the only way she can retrieve it is by taking it in battle. So that's why she was saying like, "Hey, bring them off straight to me. Bring them straight to me."
I think that's like very in tune with Bo-Katan's character because she's like, she could be very like morally gray. So anyone that's surprised that this hasn't seen Clone Wars or Rebels or anything, so I think it fits in. I like where that's going. I like where it's going.
They could have just killed Moff and said that she took the sword from Moff, and no one there would have said anything. But
who would have known?
But I feel like she's the kind of person that would like on principle. I think she's the kind of person on principle. She's just like, no.
And I think if he'd have brought her Moff and he surrendered, because all she said was make sure he surrenders to me. She didn't say she wanted to beat him. She said make sure he surrenders to me. So I think as long as he surrendered to her, everything would have been fine. But the fact that Cara Dune was so pressed about keeping Gideon alive because of whatever intel he might hold, she knew that the story would eventually get out that she didn't actually defeat him. So. Yeah, I mean they should have just killed him. I mean the minute he shot at Grogu, like he should have had a blaster hole in his head.
So AJ, coming off the heels of our recent discussion, like when cornerbacks would go up against Randy Moss and they would get burnt and they would act like they have like a hamstring tear. Is that what Moff Gideon did with Mando, knowing that Mando now has a lightsaber, or do you think he seriously lost the battle to Mando?
No. How interesting a turn of events. He said something like that when he's like, "Oh, you're gonna let me live." Like he pretty much said.
I don't think that he realized. I don't think he thought he was gonna lose, but I think that once he lost, he turned the event into a way. He changed the events into his favor, basically, to try to sow some discord between Mando and Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
It just shows where, being honorable sometimes just is not the best thing to do.
Being honorable is hardly ever the best thing to do. Democrats. Sometimes you gotta go for the kill. Literally.
So basically what you're saying is the Jedi's passed a $600 stimulus package for the Republic.
And in the hopes that the Sith would just, stop.
That the Sith would they're reaching across the aisle to the Sith, basically.
Yes, basically, yes.
What would Mitch McConnell be?
Mitch McConnell would 1,000%. Mitch McConnell is the dude with the little staff that's always by Palpatine.
Yeah.
Who's Palpatine?
See, I was gonna go ahead and give him Palpatine.
Palpatine is white people.
That's true.
Like,
Palpatine's white
the
privilege.
embodiment of-
Yeah, like
He's white
Palpatine.
supremacy.
Yeah, Palpatine is like white supremacy in the system that keeps white people doing foul shit and being held unaccountable for it.
Unlimited power. So D.
And notice when a black man tried to stop white privilege, what happened? Another white man stepped in and said, "Wait, we need this. I need him alive," and sacrificed the black man in order to protect. Trump.
AJ, I think those powers coming in early.
So to Miss Campbell saying Trump is Palpatine. No. Trump is Darth Maul or
Trump
Count
is
Dooku.
if Jar Jar would have been.
No. Trump is the pawn of he is Darth Maul or Count Dooku because he is just being used by the system to advance its goals, which is basically what the Sith Apprentice was doing the entire time. So yeah.
He's not smart enough to be able to be pulling the strings himself.
No, he like you would swear like the way people on the right demonize George Soros, that's who you think would be Palpatine in real life.
Nah.
Like that's who you think would be it the way they talk. But anyway, my powers are coming in early. I'm gonna be extra woke.
Mom, just don't worry about what some
He's
of my
too
verses.
dangerous to be left alive. He controls the court. That's Palpatine's white privilege, man.
Yeah.
And George Lucas married to a black woman. Come on, man.
Come on.
What a boost. Come on, dog. Come on, man.
Dog. So I want to ask this next question to D. So D, when they're all in the hole of Gideon's ship and you see that the X-Wing fly by, did you already know who that would be?
Okay. No. Okay. Again,
so
I don't
basically
know
how soon into it? Yeah, how soon into it did you realize like, oh shit, this is Luke?
I think I saw his gloved hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad D said that. So they tried to leave it ambiguous as to whether or not it was Ezra or Luke. They tried to. The X-Wing gave it away. They would have been better.
The green saber.
No. Ezra has a green saber. That's why I said they tried to leave it. If what would have happened was like when they're sitting there punching the wall, you just suddenly see a green saber start cutting shit. It's possible you go, oh shit, is that Ezra or Luke? But when the X-Wing came in, I knew it was Luke. But like D said, as soon as the gloved hand came out, it's like, oh, 1,000%. Because Ezra could have got an X-Wing from somewhere, but like, I mean,
I feel like they made it too obvious for me.
Yeah.
I mean, Ahsoka set it up with there's not a lot of Jedi left out there on who Grogu would have been summoning. Yeah. So at that point, you're looking at the two Jedi that we know exist based on canon are Luke Skywalker and Ezra Bridger. They are the two Jedi that are left. So, and both of them utilize a green lightsaber. So to me, it seems like they were trying to make it as ambiguous as possible.
If they would have left the X-Wing out, I think it would have worked more.
The X-Wing was the dead giveaway. The moment I saw the X-Wing,
removed the hand, and it would have been so ambiguous up until the reveal.
Right.
That was perfect.
Right. And also the reason that they were able to pull this off is because Mark Hamill did not have to be anywhere on set. So this didn't get leaked. Because if you notice when Luke is talking, his face is not on screen the majority of the time. Mm-hmm. They basically Mark Hamill dubbed in his lines and they credited the guy who played the Jedi. But yeah, they basically just had a guy come in, play Luke's role, and then they took Luke's face from Return of the Jedi and put it on his face.
They need to put in some more work on that CGI. Disney, I know y'all can afford better than that.
I have a question. Was Ben a Jedi? Ben Solo?
He would have been like maybe 3 or 4 at this point.
Yeah, they're babies.
No, I'm not saying in this. I mean, in general, was he ever?
What Ben Solo or Ben Kenobi?
Ben
Kylo Ren.
Ben Solo was being trained by Luke because Leia gave him to Luke to be trained. But Luke found out how strong he was becoming, and he was like, "Nah." He was like, just like my dad. Fuck them kids. I gotta.
Yeah, he
But-
would have.
because he
He
ended
would have.
up
He wouldn't
because he
have
tried
been
to kill him.
considered.
That's right. Okay.
He wouldn't have been considered a Jedi. He would have probably been.
That's right. He did try to kill
He
him.
would have been a Padawan
Yeah,
at that.
tried
Yeah,
to
he was
kill
a Padawan. He was a Padawan.
He would
Yeah,
have.
I forgot that he tried to kill him, and that's what because I remember when I
But
saw it thinking,
there-
oh, this is the
There is
same
an
thing.
interesting thing here. So we're just going to tell you what happens. Luke comes in. At some point, Mando flushes the Dark Troopers out into the damn.
Which was, I loved that
Into the
whole
stratosphere.
sequence.
Yeah,
I
and
love
they
that sequence.
they come back, which also so somebody pointed this out. Filoni actually put in something from the expanded universe, which was that the third generation of Dark Troopers in one of the books was actually androids. And so when Dr.
Right.
Pershing saying we removed the human inside was the
Mhm.
final thing to overcome, that's actually something from the expanded universe. So shouts to Filoni once again. But so the Dark Troopers come back in. They're about to bust through the blast doors, and Moff Gideon has like discovered a blaster, and he's hidden it under his cape, and it looks like they about to die. And then you see this X-wing come in, and you just see this black-clad figure come out, and you see a green lightsaber, and he just starts cutting through.
Which is, it's like
No.
a really nice
Yeah.
juxtaposition to Darth Vader.
Yeah,
Actually, like that was like really beautiful. I
In-
saw
in
that
Rogue
parallel.
One.
I was like,
In
in Rogue
Rogue
One.
One.
I
Yep.
was like,
and
my
my
it's like
favorite
really
part.
good to see Luke fuck shit up
Oh yeah.
because I just loved seeing that Luke because it's like he's very powerful. I think he would be in his late 20s at this point.
Yeah, it's 5 years after Return of the Jedi. Like my
The late
favorite scene
20s.
was when he like takes the lightsaber out for the last Dark Trooper and just crushes it. And I'm like, yes.
I just like crushes it and like that's very Darth Vader, and I'm just like,
I love seeing that. So he comes in, and while he's doing this, Grogu is like has his hand on the monitor that's watching Luke cut
yeah,
through
like
everybody.
'cause he
So it
knows.
shows, yeah, he knows exactly who's coming for him. And so Luke comes in, Mando tells everyone to drop their guns, and basically Luke tells Grogu to come to him. Mando says he doesn't want to go, and Luke says he wants your permission first. And so Mando takes off his helmet, tells Grogu it's okay that he can go. And what I'm
He's
thinking,
like reaching up for him, and it's just like,
yeah, he like takes the helmet off, touches his face. Like, so what I feel like, because Ahsoka said something to me that either means they're about to retcon something that Luke said in The Last Jedi, or it telegraphs that Grogu isn't going to go to the dark side, because Luke says to Rey, I've only felt this darkness one other time, and it didn't scare me then, but it should have. And he was talking about Kylo Ren. So
Yeah,
either Grogu doesn't go down the dark path,
or
they're about to retcon the shit that happens.
I think they're retconning it. I think they're retconning it. I
See,
think
I
the
think
show
You
is
already
a
know how I
little
feel
retcon.
about that. So yeah, it's
What were you about to say?
Y'all think Grogu's gonna go dark?
no.
Well, I mean, they've set up that because of his attachment
Right.
to Mando, that he has the potential to go to the dark side. They made, he's born the same day as Anakin. They've made so many parallels to Anakin in his life that they're basically saying that, if he like,
I think that he's going to actually bring back the balance between the light and the dark, like the ancient Jedi did. I think if they might go that route.
yeah. So
Because
I'm
they were talking about, like, the person born on that day was supposed to bring balance to the Force, and it was not Anakin. So I'm thinking it might be Grogu, and I think he may actually be able to balance that. And the only other person that did that was Mace Windu.
Well, no, Anakin balanced the Force when he killed Palpatine.
Yes,
like
true.
George Lucas has said, Anakin fulfills the prophecy. He just does it in a way that he wasn't supposed to. So Anakin eventually did bring balance. It's just that the dark side he brought balance temporarily. The dark side always has to come back. So there always has to be an equal. So the guess here would be that if Grogu is this talented being and he's in the light, there would have to be a dark side figure equally as powerful out there somewhere, or he goes the Ahsoka route. He goes the Ahsoka route and becomes a gray Jedi, and that's how you have Ben and Rey balance out the scales, and you have Grogu out there as this figure who doesn't intervene, and he's just in the middle. So they're setting it up to go one of those ways. I think he's just going to end up when he's old enough leaving, because I think we're probably going to get a time skip going into the next season because you're there. Because what I think is going to happen is something happens to Mando that causes Grogu to leave his training, similar to what Luke did. It's a reversal of Luke and Yoda, where Leia and Han were in trouble, and Luke leaves Yoda Dagobah to go save them, and I think either Bo-Katan betrays Mando or another Mandalorian who doesn't feel like someone of the Death Watch should be yielding the Darksaber, even though they're the ones who took it to begin with. Another Mandalorian like takes it from him and betrays him and leaves him, and Grogu's like, nah, I gotta go save my dad, and it ends up being something like that. I think that's how they get back, because Disney ain't about to let Grogu be gone.
No.
Yeah, I think. But do you think? Because should we go ahead and get to the post-credit scene and what people think about that?
No,
Yeah, let's
already
get
Because I was going to ask you where they went.
It's its own show.
Yeah, it's its own show. They've already.
Some people were thinking it's the next season. I'm like, no, they're not about to.
No, because it said the Book of Boba Fett. So
Yeah,
this is
Pedro.
this.
Yeah, people were thinking it was going to be an anthology series, and the Mandalorian
Which
season
would be
3
neat,
was
but
gonna
I
be
don't think
the book.
they're going that route.
It's going to be the Book of Boba Fett, but Pedro Pascal has already signed on to do season 3, and they already confirmed that Boba Fett's getting his own series. So that was a backdoor pilot.
Yeah, this
for
is
Boba
a
Fett.
backdoor pilot for Boba Fett.
Yeah, that's all that was a backdoor pilot for Boba Fett.
Where
Yeah,
did he
shout
go?
out to Blood Shadow.
We're
Yeah.
on the route where I think we're going to go to Mandalore is what I think we're going to do.
What were you about to say, D?
I was saying, who did he kill and why did he? Where is he?
So that was the
Boba.
former right-hand man of Jabba the Hutt.
A larger version.
Yeah, so he killed him basically. He's basically taking over the Hutt crime syndicate of that was
that
present.
kind of syndicate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think it's funny how they made him chunky. I was like, oh, he's about to be like Jabba now.
Yeah, so they gave Boba Fett he used to work for Jabba the Hutt. Now he's about to be running that. So you're probably about to just get this anti-hero Boba Fett of him running a crime empire, but still trying to maintain his honor that he recovered when he got his armor back. It's gonna be something like that. Probably.
Yeah, that final shot of Boba Fett just sitting on the throne, I was like, yes.
It was
You know,
good.
it reminded me of the Chronicles of Riddick at the very end of that.
Yes. That it reminded me exactly of that, because
Like this whole thing reminded me of that. Like it reminded me because like him not realizing that when he killed the other dude that he like you keep what you kill, like Mando getting the Darksaber, but then like them literally going, because I feel like they couldn't go to Mando sitting on the throne, but I feel like that's where next season is gonna pick up. Is they're gonna do probably like a 3, 4, 5 year time skip, and he's gonna end up already being either in power at Mandalore, or the next season is going to be about him trying to reclaim power at Mandalore. Because I don't think the way they set up Bo-Katan, I don't feel like she's gonna be the one to betray him. I feel like she's gonna reluctantly go along.
That's what did we say, AJ? Is that we think that someone's going to betray him, and then Bo-Katan's going to challenge that person? Because I don't think they're going to do that, because they don't want to turn her into a villain.
I don't think they're going to set up and turn her.
Because the audience will see her as a villain, even if like Mando understands what's happening.
So one of the things that she says like is she's basically been set up to do everything to restore Mandalore to what it was. So I think she's the type of person, the way they've set her up anyway, she's honorable enough to feel like, okay, I didn't win the Darksaber. He won the Darksaber. He's done all this stuff. He's good enough to be the leader of Mandalore, and they're going to
maybe it's Sasha Banks' character.
I can see them setting her up to go.
I would love that shit, because I'm like, I would love it. It would be kind of true to who she is. Seeing that she's in the WWE, I would.
Her name is.
I would.
Her
love
name's
that.
Kosha Reeves. Kosha, one of them.
I would like that.
Her name is Sasha Bay.
Sasha Bay.
What was her beef with Boba Fett? Why do they have beef?
He's not a Mandalorian.
Because he's not. Well, they don't consider him a true Mandalorian because he's a clone of Jango Fett. Jango Fett was a foundling, and Boba Fett.
They're looking down on him because he was a clone. Yeah.
Right. Basically,
and he's a clone in Mandalorian armor.
Right, because one of the things that Bo-Katan says to Boba Fett is, I don't have to see your face. I've heard that voice enough times to know you're a clone. Like, she basically says that, because when he says it was my father, she's like, you mean you're a donor? I've heard your voice plenty of times. Basically hearkening back to...
Boba Fett doesn't play with that. Like, Boba Fett does not play with his father. If anything,
Courtney's mom's asking a question. Why did Boba Fett call Bo-Katan princess? So Bo-Katan is the sister of the former ruler of Mandalore, Duchess Satine, which would make her part of Mandalore's royal family, basically.
Mom,
so she's
basically
a princess of Mandalore. Which I think that's in like season 2 or 3.
Mom, you're supposed to be watching.
It's season 2. It's have you gotten that far yet, Ron?
No.
All right, I told you.
I feel like now rewatching. I feel like season 1 is harder to get through. I think it picks up more on season 2.
Okay, so to totally get the heat off me and deflect, I'm going to point out something that I think was like overlooked earlier in this season. We talk about who's going to betray Mando. I think it was Grief Karga, Carl Weathers' character. So because if we go back to season 1, there was like a bounty on Mando's head once he
isn't he the one that bugged the ship or whatever?
Yeah, so I think he bugged the ship. So I can almost see like a John Wick 2 situation where Mando now has like the dark saber, and basically every bounty hunter in the galaxy now has a price on.
That's not that it wouldn't work like that because the dark saber is not useful to anybody but a Mandalorian.
No, it's not. But I mean, we have. Oh, by the way, what happened to the third guy? Like, am I missing something?
Yeah, he's gone.
He just wasn't there. He wasn't there.
Oh, he just wasn't there. Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't there.
Well, why is it only useful to a Mandalorian? Didn't I mean, because what is Moff?
So Moff took it basically to take power.
Gideon, because Moff is a title, right?
Moff Gideon took it to take power from the Mandalorians. Because the dark saber is a symbol that unites Mandalore, and having a united Mandalore causes a problem for what he's trying to do in rebuilding an empire. So for him, he looked at it as cut off the head, the body will die, and he just went and took the dark saber rather than fighting through Mandalore. He's like, oh, I can just take this from this woman. So he takes the dark saber from her because he knows that without that, Mandalore and all of its warring clans will never unite behind someone who doesn't have it. So, and that was kind of a thing in Rebels, like Mandalore couldn't get together because they could not, nobody could get the darksaber after Darth Maul got it. Because Darth Maul actually got it and ended up ruling Mandalore for a little while because of it. Because the Death Watch fanatically follows whoever has, and Clan Vizsla, who runs the Death Watch, they fanatically follow whoever has the darksaber. So it wouldn't be necessarily useful to someone who's like a bounty hunter, outside of it just being like a relic. The only reason Moff Gideon wanted is because he knew a united Mandalore would cause his plans to fail, so he or make his plans harder. So he basically went and took it. So now I think the people, like, you could see a John Wick 2 situation, but it would be the clans of Mandalore because you might have some pure-blooded Mandalorians out there who feel like, I don't want this foundling, not only a foundling, but a foundling from the Death Watch ruling Mandalore.
It's like a Jon Snow type situation. If you kind of like aren't familiar, people like would view him like at the same way that people were kind of looking at Jon Snow and kind of disgust. So
yeah, like people are looking at him like this guy of all guys has.
I really do think that's one of the reasons why Bo-Katan like was upset. It's like not only that, it's like a foundling from the Death Watch.
So yeah, I think that's where we could possibly go. So
I like Court's idea. I could see like Sasha Banks's character.
I would love that, honestly.
Because like we haven't seen where like Clan Vizsla is right now. Like it's very possible Clan Vizsla is still out there operating, and they might go to her and appeal to her and be like, look, listen, it betrayed Bo-Katan, and you could have a pure Mandalorian running things if Bo-Katan's going to be too honorable to not take it from her. Like I could see it being.
She's like she like kind of like addressed like she is a little bit more aggressive than. So I can see that. I can see, and like I said, just because of like how she, who her WWE character Sasha Banks is, I think that turning heel would be very her.
Yeah. Be
hey, if it gets more of her on screen, I'm all for it.
Oh my goodness!
I do think we're gonna have a time jump. We're gonna have a time jump, but I think we're gonna have like people are gonna have to get over not having Grogu around probably for the first half of next season. And aren't we gonna have like a year hiatus?
Yeah, it's coming back out like around Christmas of next year, I think.
Is it the same time as the Boba Fett show?
Yeah, that's why people were confused, because it's in the same. They're both coming out around the same time. Which if they're doing it to lead up to an event series, that would kind of make sense to get their series out the way and then do Ahsoka and Rangers of the Republic. Nobody wants to see that shit. Do that in Rangers of the Republic around the same time and then lead up to the event series. But I think whatever happens, we'll see Grogu by episode 3. I don't think like as much as Disney trusts Jon Favreau to run the show, like
they're like, we got this money.
They're like, no. We
got this money.
Grogu is the money maker, so yeah he's gonna be there.
We're gonna have Mando like action figures with the dark saber and shit. Like they're gonna get their money.
I mean, people won't buy that, but like him with the dark saber and Grogu, like that's goes like that turns the audience for that completely. Like
he's just holding Grogu.
Disney's probably gonna go to Jon Favreau and be like,
they're gonna have one of him just like looking like with his crying too, and it's just gonna be like, why would you watch
they gonna
this?
be like, listen, we lost out on money keeping Baby Yoda, keeping Grogu a secret. We ain't doing this shit again, goddamn it. He ain't gonna be gone for too long. Without a they'll explore what happens between the time skip in a comic book like they always do. They'll do a official Marvel comic tie-in that nobody will read. And I'll get the summary of it on Screen Rant or one of them comic websites and bring it here like what usually happens. But yeah, that's my theory on next season is Mark Hamill came in, got his money, got his heroic Luke moment that he didn't get to have until the very end of The Last Jedi.
Which we love seeing that kind of Luke. I love the Darth Vader parallel Luke. I think it's the best Luke.
Yes, Luke got the flex in his X-Wing, hence the name Flex Wing, and save Grogu Gadget Flow. I just want to know if Grogu's gonna talk. That's what needs to happen.
I don't think they're gonna have Grogu talk.
I think they're gonna give him like a mind link with Mando so that Mando understands what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like I think Grogu will be able to like imprint his voice in the Mando's head.
But I just don't see them being able to have a voice and it working.
See, they're leading up to season 5 where they introduced the Tickle Me Grogu, where like he says his first word and like you tickle him and he talks. He's like,
there's already a Build-A-Bear Grogu. You know that, right? There's a
Tickles it does.
Yeah.
I mean, Build-A-Bear, that's not surprising at all. I
wish they would have addressed whether
my
or not
mom wanted, but you got a dishwasher instead. So mom, don't ask me again for it.
I wish that like either Ahsoka or Luke would have addressed whether or not he spoke backwards like Yoda did.
Yeah, that's my thing. It's like if they do, I think they're gonna have to go that route.
Like I wish
it's gonna be like, why the hell did Yoda talk like that?
Yeah, I wish Luke would have slipped up and been said permission he wants. I mean, he wants your permission. Like I wish they'd get something like that. Acknowledge how he speaks. Permission he wants. Sorry, he wants your give me something like that. Like, see, this is why I need to be in the right.
If they have Grogu talking normally, then I'm gonna be upset because it's like, then what the hell was Yoda's problem?
Yoda was
it just kept going.
Yoda might have had like 4 CTE from a battle during the High Republic and started talking like that.
But Luke is going to train him, right? So maybe he'll speak normally.
I mean, he's 50.
I mean, the question is whether or not his species talks like that. Because, actually, I think the question is like it's probably something similar to like.
Did we ever hear Yaddle speak?
No.
Anytime we hear Yaddle, it's just
what my guess is the way that Yoda's species talks is backwards. So when he learned English, or Galactic Basic is what they call it. When he learned how to speak Galactic Basic, he just ended up talking like that because his like some Japanese syntax, they'll put the subject of the sentence like first, when it should be at the end, or they'll say the end of the sentence first. Like they read left to right as opposed to or right to left as opposed to left to right like we do. So
yeah,
it's possible.
It's kind of like for instance, when you hear like native like Spanish speakers talk English, like they also do that. Like for instance, like a library card, it's like tarjeta de biblioteca. So it's like card up the library. Yeah. So I think so when they do that translation, I think that's why Yoda speaks that way. Right.
So it might be. I don't know what it's gonna be, but I don't know if Grogu talking loses the Grogu mystique or not.
My favorite moment was like Luke looking. Yeah, my favorite moment was like Luke looking at Grogu was like, man, Yoda was a wild boy.
Come on, man.
Yoda and Yaddle. He's like, oh.
No. I'm almost positive Yoda wouldn't have even like suggested to Luke that Grogu existed, because Luke would have definitely told Vader if Luke couldn't keep the secret about Leia, he would have most definitely, Vader would have been like, a sister, wait, it's another Yoda, hey, you can go, we can go get him. Palpatine would have been like, wait a fucking minute, why am I wasting time on you two little bastards when I got another Yoda out here?
I have a question. So where is Grogu's blood?
Probably wherever Snoke's.
I think I think Moff Gideon's gonna be his end getting betrayed by Thrawn.
Yeah, I think they're setting up. I actually think like when Giancarlo Esposito said that we'll learn more about Moff Gideon's background. I think Thrawn's coming, and I think that's going to force Moff Gideon to side with the heroes, so that
I think he's going to betray the heroes. Like, here's the thing: if Giancarlo Esposito is playing a character, you don't trust that character ever.
No, I'm saying you don't trust him, but I think he's going to side with them in order to
put some respect on Bugging Out's name.
Yeah,
please.
To put Thrawn out of power, because if Thrawn comes back, Moff Gideon's no longer in charge. So I think he would be the type to play both sides in order to set.
I think he has no loyalty.
Defeat Thrawn, and then he becomes evil again, or attempts to become evil again.
Yeah.
That's fine, as long as I get to see him. I don't care where he's at.
We were doing so good.
We were no place we'd rather be.
He had that look on his face. I'm just
please.
See.
You can come and like anytime.
All we said was Sasha Banks, and that we would like to see her more. We ain't say nothing about no looks on her faces.
But I didn't talk enough last episode about Pedro Pascal's face either. Let's talk about that.
Let's.
I love how he plays that. Like, because when he takes off the mask, like he has no expression at all. Like he doesn't know how to use his face. Like I want to say, seriously, that blank look on Pedro Pascal's face is like amazing acting because he's adding layers to that character. Because once he takes the mask off, he doesn't know how to control his facial expressions because the mask is always on. So shout out to Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, shout out to Pedro Pascal.
Well, if Courtney's going to be talking about how much he likes, I personally would allow Sasha Banks' wrist gauntlet to tie me up anytime. Boom.
Hey, AJ.
I would hitch a ride on her jetpack any day of the week.
Oh my god! I said, "Mom, don't say anything to me." Like as soon as you saw this episode, you said Luke in all caps and like 10 million heart eye emojis.
My
mom's like, Luke was one of my first crushes ever.
I've seen Mark Hamill go from like teen heartthrob to grizzled old dude, and she's allowed to react that way.
She's allowed to, relive the glory days.
I honestly was shocked. Like when I saw him, I was just expecting him to look like.
Let's talk about that CGI.
Yeah, I was
expecting old, pissed off Luke, and I was like, well, wait a minute, he's probably my age.
CGI face.
I just like it was fine, and then like when he was talking, I'm just like Disney.
Yeah, because the way they did Leia in Rogue One worked because Leia only said like one line, but when Luke had to like talk repeatedly, I was
that's
like,
when they could have got Sebastian Stan or something, and like like CG a little bit to make it look more like Mark Hamill.
Yeah, but I get why they didn't do it, because you see Sebastian Stan on set and you know something is up. Like they basically had to do this to where, because I mean, when I saw it, I was like, oh damn, there was nothing. Because when asked about it, I was like, man, if Mark Hamill shows up anywhere near the Mandalorian set, you know Luke is coming, and Disney probably ain't risking that. So when I noticed it, like when every time he talked, they flipped back to like the angle where all you saw was like his feet and like the angle of Grogu and Mando, and I was like, oh, they're doing that so the guy's face doesn't have to move, or they don't have to get like words matching. Because you get anyone anywhere, any big star anywhere near this set now, and something's gonna leak with as many people that are working around Disney.
I just still feel like they at least don't show Luke's face when he's talking. Like that was just like that took me out of the moment a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah. Because
I'm like, Disney, y'all got money. Y'all got money.
It was bad, but it wasn't like mustache erasure in Justice League bad.
But still, it's just like when you know how much money Disney has, you're just like.
I would have much rather just seen Superman come out the grave with a mustache.
With that mustache, I'm about to get mad again. It was so. Oh my gosh,
bro, he been in the grave. Like, of course, bad. Like your facial hair still grows after like you're dead. So there was
he's Kryptonian, and he like if
so a being, would he be able to shave normally? Superman, would he be able to shave normally?
Yeah, he cuts his hair and stuff. Yeah. He's not like a Saiyan. But I
So
mean,
I mean, like his hair is not like that strong. It's just him.
No. But like Kryptonians scientifically should be black anyway. So if you're gonna defy the laws of that, then you can have a Kryptonian with a mustache.
Yeah.
Like if a being powered by the sun can be white, and every scientist has been like, nah, they would probably be black if like they existed. Like I mean, the man's could have had a mustache. He could have had the Ron Jeremy stash.
Melanated people will be Kryptonians because our skin does not have
tomorrow.
Save Martha.
2 hours and 51 minutes.
Like I said, I'm coming out with
51 minutes so I get blocked from everything. Y'all are not going to see me because I'm not going to be.
We don't know her.
No.
We don't know her.
My question is, what like does someone that's a quarter black get like a quarter of the powers? Like if they got super
somebody
strength,
said they get. Somebody said they get wax powers, like they get to talk to fish.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, are they gonna be like the deep?
So wait, would they get like all fish language or like a quarter of the words a fish knows? Like would it be something like that?
Like or like maybe one specific type of fish. Like they can only talk
they can talk to
like beta fish or something.
They talk.
I imagine the beta fish is just cussing everybody out.
Yeah.
So what you want to do? Let me out this cage. I'll show you what's good.
I know, that's what I was wondering. I was just like, does it just get like more like lamer and lamer powers?
Listen, man. All I know is if I start levitating at midnight,
like Dr. Mad, like,
hey, and I'm showing myself to the world immediately. Like I don't know if it's a full moon out or not, but I'm gonna have
to explain this to my mom after. I'm gonna
be like flying in the silhouette of the moon. They're gonna be like, "Who is this strange man? What is this shadow we saw? It's a superhero. We out here."
You'd be a supervillain.
Nah, I'd be an anti-hero.
Yeah, you'd be an anti-hero. Yeah.
I would most definitely reenact the scene from Captain America: Winter Soldier. Y'all know exactly which one I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I won't say it on air, but I would definitely reenact one of those scenes involving flying.
Yeah,
I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah,
with a few key members of a certain House of Congress.
Yeah,
all that needs to be said.
Both sides too.
Also, I feel like someone needs to scare M. Night Shyamalan for all the wrongs that he's done.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pulling up on M. Night Shyamalan.
No.
I got 1201. He got to see me.
He got to see me just for what he did.
By the way, I want to say D finally watched The Happening, and it's one of the greatest comedies of all time.
All time.
If you watch The Happening as a comedy, it's an excellent movie.
So D, keep your eyes off my lemonade drink.
M. Night Shyamalan got to see me just for montaging the best part of the Avatar movie. Like he got to see me just for that. Like he got to answer some questions while like my eyes are glowing laser red, and he better hope I like the answers. He got to see me just for that. Why would you montage that?
Yeah, don't give
you gotta break it to his house like Willem Dafoe.
I feel like M. Night Shyamalan has committed a lot of sins against humanity. He needs to answer.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He has to answer for those. He got to answer for that.
Shyamalan should be in Guantanamo Bay. Like he should absolutely just be locked away.
Speaking of what we're talking about,
he got to answer for that. You know who else I'm going to see, Ron? And you ain't gonna like this, but I'm going to see Matt Reeves. He's recasting the Batman immediately. Or he's rewriting the Batman to say that that's Dick Grayson when he becomes Batman.
No,
one of those two things. Like
absolutely not.
I'm going to Britain and he's going to see.
Not.
He's going
absolutely
to see me.
Not. Give me grunge Batman listening to Nirvana.
Then me and Ron are gonna have the first superhero beef over the casting of the Batman.
Bro, we're gonna be like Neo and Agent Smith and
they had the two superpower beings had a grudge match that leveled the town over what? The casting of Bruce Wayne as the Batman.
The Batman. Yeah.
See, this is why you can't give black people superpowers, because the Madden game would have New York City destroyed.
Okay, since we're getting into this, does someone want to give a brief synopsis? Since my mom is texting me and asking me why December 21st is significant.
So some young lady on Twitter who is of the Hotep variety back in May tweeted that black people's DNA was going to change on December 21st. And we were going to reach our No. I think no, not because of COVID. She was saying we shouldn't take the vaccine because our DNA was going to be diluted and that our superpowers were going to awaken on December 21st. And I'm guessing that is because 4 moons of Jupiter and Saturn are all going to be in alignment tonight, which is supposedly going to awaken our superpowers.
And that's why I'm going to get blocked from the group chat tonight, Mom.
Hey, if I wonder how laser vision will work with glasses. Like, would it magnify it? Like, would my beams become more intense?
I'm thinking, like, I feel like I've seen that somewhere where, like, yeah, it magnifies
like,
it.
It would just have to.
I don't know what. I feel like
recording. I will tell you this. It's like when that dude tweeted Tony Hawk. Like, and he was like, when the race war happens, you got to kill Tony. Like, that's how I'm gonna be to you. Like, look, I love you, Courtney. I really. There's gonna be
hesitation.
There's gonna be hesitation. Like, trust me.
No, it's gonna be like I didn't have capitalism. I can't even use capitalism as my superpower, like Batman. Like, that's what sucks. I can't even do that. But I'm gonna be like that scene I tweeted where it's like Batman's like, you guys don't have to. It's not a race, and everyone's just flying past it.
But it is though.
It's gonna be me. It's gonna be me the next time we bar hop. Anyway, but yeah, Mom, that's what's the 21st.
Yeah. So yeah, if I just know if I get superpowers, I will use some of them for the greater good.
Some of them.
I will use others to, intimidate celebrities.
You expect more than one?
What?
You expect more than one power?
I mean, why not? I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. I might get 2.
Black on both sides, so you get at least 2, right?
You know what I would hate, like, to be like Peter Petrelli in Heroes, to like just be able to fly. Because, like, what can I do?
Just fly. That's it. You just fly.
I can't fly. Like, if I could fly as fast as I could run, that would just be like annoying. I fly like 15 miles an hour. Like, that would just be a terrible. Yeah, we can't put that on screen.
We can't put that on screen.
But
noted.
Skip it.
Yeah, but no. Like, I would hate to have a power like that. Like, I would at least like to be able to like mind read so I could win a bunch of money gambling, or some shit like that. Like, or give me like super speed, or the ability to turn invisible.
Get some money off of that.
Yeah,
I want total recall with the ability to know what's the truth. That's what I want.
If I got super speed, I'd be racing niggas in club parking lots like Mike Vick on.
I'm just saying,
it's Michael Vick.
I remember this conversation.
Like I would dead ass be outside of every club in Atlanta. Like, y'all niggas want to race? Like, just racing drunk people.
I'm just saying, if anyone gets the same powers as evil AOC from The Boys, you know what to do.
Oh yes.
You know what to do.
We just hope that AOC gets
those powers. Just
I was like, what? She got them.
Can we just hope that AOC gets those powers?
She got enough black in her to get them.
And the boys.
If not, I'm willing to contribute.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
More than willing.
Do you have any black
I'm not going to say what they say about AOC on Twitter.
Would you like some?
Would you like some?
Just know that I concur.
Just know that at some point she would be among us. See, I had to up the punniness because y'all still on my thing.
AJ said that he's like determined to be the #1 favorite again. So
that's what I do.
Now she's gonna be a mom, and she's like, no, I love all of y'all equally. No, she has favorites.
Yeah, I mean, that's not necessarily true. I'm like 97% certain I'm my mom's favorite child, and so are my siblings. So
yeah,
I'm a favorite.
But I think that's where we're close.
And that's it for the Mandalorian.
Yeah, that's it for the Mandalorian. But before we go, we have a pretty cool lineup to announce. We have a lot of shows coming this week. So tomorrow, Monday, the day we receive our powers, we will be talking about our favorite albums of the year. So join us.
Unless we receive our powers.
Unless we receive our powers, then you're just gonna see like static, and we're gonna be out fighting crime and doing other miscellaneous things.
I'm not gonna fight crime.
Well, it depends on what you call crime, my brother. But
those $600
Tuesday,
stimulus checks, that's crime.
Hey, what superpower y'all think Lupe getting?
Like, he's already a
ninja, right? Yeah, so it's gonna be like
it's gotta be something involving his like he gotta become like like Silver Samurai or some shit.
Yeah.
Like charge a sword with tachyons or some shit like that.
He'll be like the dead shot, but of the
But of swords.
sword. Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be like Deadpool in X-Men Origins Wolverine before he got bad, before they like turned him into that abomination.
He'll be like swatting off the bullets. That's
what Will I Am in the background.
So moving on. Tuesday. We're talking about our favorite TV shows of the year. And as I'm going through my list, there's actually a lot. So make sure you watch that. And then Wednesday, we're just going to do a recap of 2020. It was a terrible, terrible year, but it was, if nothing else, eventful. So we have a lot to talk about. So once again, that's Monday, albums of the year. Tuesday, TV shows of the year. Wednesday, 2020.
The year of the year.
The year of the year. The year of the year. Yeah. So until next time, I am 3 or 4 cocktails deep off the cranberry concoction. So
Ronnie's gonna be drunk when he gets the power.
I'm still a little bit hungover from last night, so I'm not wearing anything.
Uno.
AJ, not gonna say one?
I said one Uno and
hang up.
I
That's why